The gilded cage opens. Opening shot of a warmly lit living room, hands nervously folding a letter. Welcome to the channel. If you resonate with stories about reclaiming your power, consider subscribing. It truly helps. Pause, then softer. Let me tell you about Clara. The night Clara ran, she carried three things: a forged passport, $427 in crumpled bills, and the visceral memory of her husband's mother inspecting her hips at their wedding like livestock. Rain lashed the limousine window as she pressed a palm to the cold glass, watching the estate's iron gates shrink behind her. 18 months earlier, she'd believed the emerald ring on her finger was a promise. She didn't yet know it was a receipt. But to understand why she left, truly left, we need to rewind. Picture a woman who mistook polished marble floors for solid ground. Clara's first dinner with the family should have been her warning. His mother served oysters while dissecting Clara's charming little teaching job between bites. So quaint, she'd purred, dabbing caviar from her lip. His sister giggled into her champagne. Clara smiled, mistaking cruelty for curiosity. By month 6, the rules crystallized. Her wardrobe adjusted by stylists. Her friends screened by security. Her laughter measured during galas. The final straw came via a crumpled note in his jacket pocket, a reminder for him to check her phone logs again. That night, lying beside a man who collected vulnerabilities like art, Clara began drafting an exit strategy in her mind. Camera shifts to a worn backpack being zipped shut, hands trembling but deliberate. But escape, as you'll see, was only the first stitch in unraveling their tapestry of control. Let's walk through how she did it, step by quiet step. The charade begins. Love or leverage. Imagine this: Clara's first family dinner as Mrs. Harrington. Crystal glasses clink under a chandelier. Ethan's hand warm on her knee. His mother leans in, honeyed concern. Darling, we've booked you a vocal coach. Your accent might confuse the children at the charity event. Laughter swirls, but Clara's smile freezes. Later soothes her. They want the best for us. Weeks blur into curated perfection. A stylist gifts her a wardrobe overhaul. No more thrift store florals. Ethan suggests she pause her graphic design gigs. Why work? We'll handle everything. Her gratitude curdles when she finds receipts in his desk. Her makeover costs itemized under public image development. One rainy afternoon, Clara overhears Ethan's sister gossiping. At least she's fertile. Imagine if we'd gotten someone stubborn. Clara stares at her untouched champagne. That night, she Googles undetectable savings accounts under blankets. Every freelance payment from here on goes into a shadow account. Passwords memorized, browser history erased. The Harringtons' love felt like safety until she tasted the metal beneath the velvet. But Clara's learning. Leverage cuts both ways. She practices their crisp vowels in the mirror. Not for them, but for the day she'll speak without permission. By the time Ethan's father offers her a role, managing a hollow charity, a PR puppet show, Clara's already drafting her exit in her head. She accepts the position with a flawless smile. Let them think they're scripting her. The suitcase under the bed stays half-packed. Dinner parties and dollar signs. The third Thursday, Clara wears emerald silk, Ethan's mother's choice, to a dinner for investors. Smile, but not too wide, his sister whispers, adjusting her necklace. The table debates tax loopholes. Clara mentions a client's sustainable packaging idea. Silence. Ethan's father chuckles. Adorable. Stick to centerpieces, dear. Later in the powder room, Clara hears his odd snap. She's still giving opinions? When does the breeding start? Ice crawls up her ribs. That night, Ethan dismisses her shaking. They're old school. Play the game, and we'll win. The game sharpens. Luncheons where her college degree becomes a cute phase. Bank alerts when Ethan's accountant adjusts her allowance. Clara's shadow account grows. $500 here from a logo design. $300 there from covert wedding invitations. She memorizes credit card points, sells gifted jewelry to a pawn shop 3 towns over. At their anniversary party, Ethan toasts her transformation, hand possessive on her waist. Clara scans the crowd, his brother leering, mother's comparing her hips to thoroughbreds. She excuses herself, vomits quietly in a gold-plated sink. The next morning, she visits a community college, enrolls in a business finance course under her maiden name. The instructor, a retired accountant with kind eyes, explains compound interest, while Clara scribbles notes in margins of Harper's Bazaar. By December, her shadow account hits $18,762.50. She buys a burner phone, researches apartments near the design district. When Ethan gifts her diamond studs, she thanks him in perfect boarding school French. The suitcase under their bed grows heavier. The puppet's rebellion, burning the invisible strings. The breaking point came during a charity gala. Clara stood in a $10,000 gown, clutching champagne, as Ethan's uncle patted her shoulder. "Our little Cinderella's doing so well," he crooned. "Though we'll need to address your posture before the Christmas gala." That night, Clara lay awake, watching Ethan's sleeping face, relaxed, certain of his control. At dawn, she walked to the kitchen, not for coffee, but for the vintage lighter Ethan's father kept above the stove. She carried it to the garden, lit a pile of documents from her secret stash. Family-approved meal plans, speech coaching notes, fertility clinic brochures. Flames swallowed the papers as sunrise stained the sky. When Ethan found her, ash on her hands, he laughed. "Midlife crisis?" She handed him a printed spreadsheet. Every demeaning comment, backhanded gift, and financial restriction logged over 2 years. "I'm leaving. If you contest it, this goes viral." His smirk faded as he scrolled. She didn't wait for negotiations. The shadow account held $24,100. Her burner phone buzzed with 3 client confirmations. At a bus station locker, she swapped the silk dress for jeans, the diamond studs for wireless earbuds. When Ethan's sister called, Clara answered on speaker. "You're making a mistake!" "No," Clara interrupted, voice steady. "Mistakes were letting you pick my shoes, my salads, my silence. Keep the crown. I'm building my own throne." She blocked all numbers, bought a one-way ticket, and drafted an email to her design clients. Subject line, "Full availability, starting tomorrow." For the first time in years, her hands didn't shake. Starting from scratch, a backpack and a burner phone. The bus dropped her at 3 a.m. in a city she'd chosen via coin toss. Clara's new apartment had stained carpets and a single light bulb. She slept on the floor, her backpack as a pillow, the burner phone buzzing with freelance alerts. Dawn brought a $50 logo job, a dog groomer's website. She worked from a library computer, sipping vending machine coffee, ignoring Ethan's desperate emails. "You'll starve without us." By week 3, her knees ached from diner shifts, but her design account now had 5 reviews. Fast, professional, listens. She rationed instant noodles, tracked every cent in a drugstore notebook. When the Harringtons' lawyer sent a letter threatening consequences, she mailed back a photo of her burned documents, ashes circled in red. The turning point came in month 4. A client, a single mom starting a bakery, paid Clara extra with a hug and a loaf of sourdough. That night, Clara cried into the bread, realizing this was her first real currency. No strings, no audits. She adopted rules. No jobs after 8 p.m. Sundays for free online courses. The boner phone stayed strictly for clients. When Ethan's mother called from a blocked number, Clara played a voicemail of her own laughter, genuine, recorded at a park with new friends, then hung up. By month 6, her portfolio landed a contract with an eco startup. The pay? Triple Harrington's allowance. She bought a second-hand laptop, framed the receipt as a reminder. This machine is mine. 1 year later, Clara's inbox pinged with a Harrington Foundation invite, Ethan's name bolded. She archived it, then booked a vacation with savings. Destination? Anywhere with no dress code. The backpack stayed, but now it held hiking boots, sunscreen, and a phone filled with contacts who'd never heard the name Harrington. Rise from the ashes. Blisters to blueprints. The city hummed outside Clara's studio as she traced cracked fingertips over her first architectural blueprint. 2 years earlier, she'd designed logos in library basements. Now, her firm's name, Heart Design, headed proposals for a downtown co-op housing project. The client, a retired teacher leading the initiative, studied Clara's plans. "You've lived this," she observed, pointing to the accessible common areas. Clara nodded, remembering cold bus stops and sleeping on floors. Growth came in raw increments. Early clients became referrals. Profits were reinvested into certifications, ergonomic chairs. Therapy for the night's Harrington-induced panic resurfaced. When her website crashed from sudden traffic, a viral TikTok praising her sliding scale pricing, she hired her first employee, a single dad excelling in IT. Then the email arrived. Ethan's sister, sleek as ever. "We'd love to feature your humble success in our philanthropy newsletter." Clara almost deleted it, until noticing the CC luxury developer seeking her co-op's land. Her reply was clinical. "My team requires $450 an hour for PR consultations. Advance payment only." The silence that followed tasted sweeter than any revenge. At the co-op's groundbreaking, Clara handed the retired teacher a keychain, a miniature gold hammer. "For breaking walls," she smiled. The woman squeezed her hand. "You already did." Clara's phone buzzed daily now. Media requests, partnership offers, strangers sharing their escape stories. She answered none during her new ritual. Evening walks through the co-op's skeletal halls, safety vest over her blouse, steel toe boots crushing debris. Each step echoed the same truth. Blisters build better blueprints. The Harringtons' world had required her to shrink. Hers demanded only that she grow, one cracked brick at a time. The vultures circle again, champagne and cyanide. The invitation arrived embossed, not from Ethan, but his mother. A charity luncheon supporting women rebuilding their lives. Clara recognized the hotel address, where they'd once publicly corrected her posture. She arrived in a tailored pantsuit, greeted by paparazzi. Inside, the Harringtons hovered like surgeons awaiting a relapse. "Darling," his mother air-kissed her cheek. "We followed your little projects. So quaint." Ethan lingered nearby, eyes tracking her every move. Over lobster salad, the pitch came. Merge her firm with their foundation. "Imagine the reach," his sister purred. "We'll handle the finances. You focus on aesthetics." Clara sipped mineral water, noting the contract's clause 12B. Harrington Group retains 80% profit control. That night, her assistant texted. A journalist was digging into her past struggles. Clara opened her laptop, uploaded every saved Harrington document, the project refinement chat logs, fertility pressure notes, to a cloud drive. She emailed Ethan's mother. "Withdraw the offer by dawn, or I release these alongside your charity's tax filings." The reply came in 22 minutes. "Misunderstanding. We'll cease contact." Clara forwarded everything to her lawyer anyway, then booked a spa day for her team. At the co-op's opening ceremony, a reporter asked about the Harringtons' sudden charity pause. Clara smiled. "Some people confuse rebuilding with owing, but scaffolds exist to be removed." She handed him a pamphlet for her new mentorship program. Free legal workshops for women signing contracts. The vultures kept circling, but Clara had learned. True safety isn't in outrunning predators, but building shelters so solid their shadows can't reach you. A symphony of silence, crushing the chessboard. The final call came on a rainy Tuesday. Ethan's lawyer, demanding she cease defamatory whispers or face a lawsuit. Clara set down her tea, pulled up the cloud folder, labeled evidence, and forwarded it to her attorney. No rage, no bargaining. 3 days later, the Harringtons withdrew all claims. Their power had always relied on her reaction. The tears, the pleas, the hunger for their approval. Now, Clara's silence became her weapon. She archived their emails unread, declined interviews about scandal, and let her legal team handle the noise. A client asked her secret. "They're chess players," Clara said. "I stopped sitting at the board." Her victory wasn't in destroying them, but dismantling their role in her story. She updated her website's FAQ. "No, I don't discuss my past with the Harringtons." Redirected that energy to funding shelters for women escaping coercive control. When Ethan's father died, the obituary mentioned Clara as a brief associate. She donated anonymously to the hospice that cared for him, not out of forgiveness, but sovereignty. The lesson: abuse thrives on engagement. Starve it with quiet action. Document, delegate, detach. Clara's new assistant screens all inquiries now. The only words left for the Harringtons: no comment. Her symphony plays in libraries where single moms study business law, in courtrooms where evidence outshouts threats. In the click of a block button, turn down the drama, and you'll hear it too: the rising chord of unbroken lives. Epilogue: The Phoenix's Truth. Clara sits in her sunlit office, shredding a Harrington Foundation letter unopened. Outside, construction crews break ground on her third affordable housing project. Her assistant knocks. They're offering an apology tour. Prime TV slots. Clara shakes her head. Send the standard response. The template reads, Ms. Part focuses on building futures, not revisiting prisons. Her healing wasn't sudden. Therapy taught her abusers crave reaction, so she starved theirs. Evidence stayed archived. Legal teams handled threats. Her public voice now educates others. Workshops on financial independence, covert documentation, burner phones. Last month, a client hugged her, trembling. "How'd you stay so calm?" Clara smiled. Anger fuels fights. Clarity builds fortresses. Final lesson? Surviving isn't vengeance. It's outgrowing their reach, brick by brick, while they keep rattling old cages.